Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my match reaction from the Brentford Manchester United game. So it ended Brentford 4, Manchester United 0 at the Brentford Community Stadium. Embarrassing performance by Manchester United. Manchester United have lost their first 2 games. Brentford scored 4 goals in 35 minutes. We saw Joshua De Silva score for Brentford. David De Gea made an error for Joshua De Silva's goal. Matthias Jensen also scored for Brentford. De Gea kicked the ball out to Eriksen and Eriksen got dispossessed, so he was the culprit for that goal. Matthias Jensen also got an assist in the game for Brentford. Ben Mee also scored for Brentford. Brentford got Ben Mee from Burnley. And Brian Mbeumo scored for Brentford. So there were Brentford's goals. Ivan Toney provided 2 assists. Manchester United are bottom of the league with 0 points. So Erik ten Hag has endured a really bad start to his managerial career at Manchester United. In the game today, Ronaldo had some opportunities and Eriksen had a chance. Obviously today Eriksen was reuniting with Brentford. You know, this season is Brentford's 2nd season in the Premier League. You know, revert back to last season, it was the first time Brentford had been in the top flight for around 74 years. You know, Brentford's manager is Thomas Frank. He's under contract with Brentford until 2025. Brentford appointed Thomas Frank back in October 2018, so he's been the Brentford manager for almost 4 years. Like I said to you prior to this game, I do know a lot of the players that Brentford have got. Probably the best player they've got is Ivan Toney because he scores a lot of goals for Brentford. You know, they've got Brian Mbeumo, who's a good attacking player. Keane Lewis Potter, Brentford got him from Hull. Sergei Carnos, he's a key player for Brentford. He's recently been out with injury. Shandon Baptiste, Christian Norgard, Joshua De Silva, Tariq Fosu, Finn Stevens, Rico Henry, Pontus Jansson, who's a former Leeds United player, Matthias Jensen, Ben Mee, the goalkeepers Brentford have got is David Raya and Thomas Strakashire. So they're a lot of the players that Brentford do have, and let me put into the equation that Brentford have lost players. You know, the loan Nathan Young-Coombs out to Wimbledon, they lost Marcus Fors to Middlesbrough, they lost Christian Eriksen. Brentford also lost Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa, lost Ben Rama to West Ham, so there you go. You know, Manchester United beat Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium last season 3-1, and Man United beat Brentford at Old Trafford last season 3-0. You know, Manchester United play Liverpool at Old Trafford next weekend, and Man United fans are planning a protest against the Glazers ahead of the game against Liverpool. We've got to get the Glazers out of the club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. For a while now, the vast majority of Man United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. You know, the Glazers have owned the club for around 17 years. They've been at Man United since 2005. They bought the club for around 500 million back in 2005. Like I updated you on my last video, Michael Knighton is preparing a bid to buy the club from the Glazer family. Revert back to 1989, Michael Knighton tried to buy Manchester United. He aborted a £20 million bid. Michael Knighton is known for his involvement in Manchester United and Carlisle. But you know, at this moment in time, you know, the club from top to bottom is rotten. You know, obviously we've got John Murtaugh at the club. He's our director of football. You know, we've got Richard Arnold at the club. Obviously, Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward when obviously Woodward resigned. We've got Benny McCarthy at the club. We've got Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren at the club. They're working alongside Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag was the ones that recommended them in. And not so long ago, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Manchester United in an advisory role. Not so long ago, he met up with Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, Manchester United have not been the same team since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. A lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. You know, Man United have been in transition now for the last 10 years or so. No one will replicate what Ferguson did at the club in that aspect. We've got to accept that. You know, Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. He brought success to Manchester United because he won over 30 trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. You know, Alex Ferguson was the Manchester United manager for around 26 years. So reflecting on that, he enjoyed a long managerial tenure at the club. Alex Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. You know, Eric Ten Hag is Manchester United's manager and he's blameless for these poor performances. You know, it's nothing to do with the manager. You know, it's the team that's not consistent enough. You know, the board as well are to blame. You know, Eric Ten Hag, he is a good manager. I think he needs time. You know, Ten Hag has made 3 signings so far as Man United manager. You know, obviously he signed Terrell Malacia from Feyenoord, he signed Christian Eriksen on a free transfer, Eriksen signed a 3-year contract, and he signed Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. And obviously, you know, Ten Hag is trying to make some more signings. You know, Man United are still trying to get Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona. Sport have said today that Man United are confident of landing Frenkie de Jong by the end of next week. Now, not so long ago, it said that Man United agreed a deal with Frenkie de Jong's agent. Obviously, Chelsea are trying to get him. Man United have obviously been trying to get Adrian Rabiot from Juventus. We recently had a meeting with Adrian Rabiot, and the Athletic said that Man United were working on signing Adrian Rabiot from Juventus. It said Man United have agreed a £15 million fee. You know, let me put into the equation, you know, Ten Hag is inheriting Deadwood. You know, the vast majority of this squad is not his. You know, we have seen players leave Manchester United this year. Obviously, we saw Dean Henderson go out on loan to Nottingham Forest. We saw Lee Grant leave. Alex Telles went out on loan to Sevilla not so long ago. You know, Matic left, he went to Roma. Pogba left Manchester United on a free for the second time, he went back to Juventus. We saw Lingard leave the club when his contract expired, he went to Nottingham Forest. Juan Mata, of course, left Man United on a free. Edison Cavani left on a free earlier on this year. Man United, of course, sold Andres Pereira. You know, and we've let quite a few young players go. And certainly more players are on their way out of the football club. I think Ronaldo is on his way out of the club. You know, United players want Ronaldo gone. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There is an option to extend for a further year. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last year from Juventus, so Ronaldo's in his second spell at Man United. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's got 18 goals in the Premier League. He has 24 goals in all competitions. Of course, Ronaldo played today against Brentford. He didn't start against Brighton last weekend, but he came on as a substitute. Revert back to Man United's final pre-season friendly. Ronaldo left before the end of the friendly, so that stirred suggestions up. Not so long ago, it said that Ronaldo wanted his Man United contract ripped up so he could leave on a free transfer. Marcus Rashford, you know, do you think he could be on his way out of the club? Like I updated you not so long ago, he said that PSG are interested in signing Marcus Rashford. RMC Sports said that PSG had begun discussions for Marcus Rashford. PSG value Rashford at around 60 million. Man United insist that Marcus Rashford is not for sale. You know, I think Fred could be leaving the club next year because he's not good enough to represent the club. You know, Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk in a deal worth 50 million. Lindelof, I think he's on his way out next year. We need to definitely get rid of Harry Maguire because he's not good enough either. He was poor today. You know, Man United got Harry Maguire for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. He's had quite a few injuries as a United player. Phil Jones is on his way out of the club as well. Eric Bailly's on his way out of the club. Axel Tuanzebe is on his way out of the club. You know, last season he was out on loan with Aston Villa. He's enjoyed 3 loan spells with Villa. I think Delors and Wan-Bissaka are on the way out of the club as well. Brandon Williams is on his way out of the club. Last season he was out on loan with Norwich. Anthony Martial, you know, do you think Manchester United could sell him? He's been out with injury. to be fair to Martial, though, he did well throughout pre-season. You know, last season was out on loan with Sevilla. So there you go. On my next video, I will be giving you the player ratings from this game. But like I said, revert back to Erik ten Hag. You know, he does need time. You know, this is the first ever time he's managing the Premier League. And like I've said before, the Premier League is totally contrast to the Dutch League. You know, you've got to admire what Ten Hag did at Ajax, because when he was the Ajax manager, he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Before, Ten Hag's managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves, and Go Ahead Eagles. You know, Ten Hag is Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Erik Ten Hag's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. 5 managers have left Manchester United since Ferguson. That was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and earlier on this year, Ralf Rangnick left Manchester United. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.